Hello, everyone, and welcome back to my anime journal. And this is episode 99, so we're like really getting up. I didn't expect this podcast to even last that long, and I do have something special, lined up for episode 100. So that'll be fun, something to look forward to. Um, but right now we're starting out with Bofuri season 2. Um, which it was bland, and I expected that. Like I knew just from the fact that even the later parts of the first season of Bafuri were kind of bland. And the reason is just that they don't really they don't continue with the magic, and it would be hard to, it because it's such a kind of fleeting concept. Just the fact that the whole premise relies on Kaide Maple continually getting more overpowered, and that's a fun idea, and it works for like 8 or maybe 10 episodes, and then it starts to be like, oh well, this just kind of keeps being the same, and she's like so powerful at this point that she can't really reasonably get any more powerful. Like even if no matter how hard they try, it it's just not exciting anymore because she's already so powerful that there's not really anywhere to go. And it's not something like, say, One Punch Man, or even. I didn't really like Problem Children Are Coming from Another World, aren't they? But that one was at least it was self-aware of the fact that the main character was overpowered, and he was self-aware of it, and he viewed it as a problem. um, that he was like, I'm bored, can I find something better to defeat? And Kaide doesn't really, the thing is, he doesn't get bored. She's kind of boring at this point, because in One Punch Man, or yeah, the other one, what was it called? But like like Saitama just kind of views it almost as his own detriment, the fact that he's overpowered, and kind of keeps on trying to up himself of where can I find my next challenge. Whereas Kaide still kind of, I guess, kind of has the peasant or starvation mentality of I need to protect myself, I need to, it's almost like she views the power ups and the armor as being beneficial to her, even past the point that they offer any benefit at all. Um, she's so powerful at this point that nothing can actually reasonably do a dent to her, and she never really doesn't really find anything that's a true challenge, and she doesn't seem to be excited by true challenges either. Even if she does find a challenge, she doesn't think, oh, this is exciting, finally something that I can put my skills to use toward. It's like, oh god, when will this guy die? um and so it's and she's still adorable, but I feel like it's just kind of boring, and the other characters don't really make it better. I'll also, the best girl, Sally, she doesn't really, she's still a main character, but she doesn't play as big of a role as she did in certain arcs of season 1. um the newbies get more time. Yui and Mei, they're at least in the show a bit more, but they're kind of treated as almost like pawns to level up. It's like, oh well, we keep giving these are our apprentices who aren't really that useful yet, but if we kind of give them a bit more experience and stuff, then we can get them to a point that we're even more undefeatable. Um, But yeah, it's kind of just a bit more plain than the first season. So I for the cute girls, it's still like whatever. Like there's more of them now. Like there's lots of cute girls. Yui and Mei are both adorable. The we still all the rest of the people. Well, obviously, we had them in the first season as well. They weren't as prominent. Um, but yeah, overall, it was just kind of more bland, which is unfortunate. But it was bound to happen. Uh, frick. So the next anime watched is Yang Xiang Pyong. I can't speak Korean. But it's called Gender Equality in English, and this I, I I'm not a huge fan of the message. It's kind of weird. It's about I don't know why my profile shows up. But it it's about a woman in in the toilet symbol that there's like the man and the woman, and that it's like the woman comes out and that she like multiplies herself, and then she goes out and puts herself into signs that don't have I would say stick figures of dresses. Like there's the two stick figures. There's the stick figure wearing pants, and there's a stick figure wearing a dress. And it seems to imply that the stick figure wearing pants is inherently a man that say any kind of sign like oh actually I guess in South Korea elevator symbols show three men. If you look at an elevator symbol, Canada, it always has the I guess maybe there's some with three panted figures, and then but usually it's meant to be a man and a woman, one wearing pants, one wearing a dress. That's like typical. That's like your generic elevator symbol. Is two people, one has a dress, one's wearing pants. I guess sometimes there's two guys wearing pants and one in a dress. But that's like your just typical elevator symbol. But apparently the three men or three stick figures wearing pants. That's the symbol in South Korea, and so she like replaces herself in that. Like I don't know, is that important? Like, and dresses being a sign of femininity is also kind of weird because like most women on your average day isn't wearing a dress. Um, they're usually wearing pants. So like is that equality? I don't know. Like there's bigger problems in the world for women than whether or not a stick figure is wearing a dress. Like it just doesn't really matter. Um, and yeah, and they show things like the exit sign and the walk symbol, and it's like it it's just it's just a sign. Like you don't need to think that deeply about a sign. It's like it's a sign. Like we have I don't know. Like it's just a person. It's just meant to be a person. It doesn't need to be a male person. Like women wear pants too. And obviously for washrooms, like the man wearing pants and the woman wearing a dress, that makes sense as a symbolism to be like which one is for which type of person. Uh, and yeah, like say in this the wheelchair symbol, and the guy in the wheelchair is wearing pants. We don't have a wheelchair symbol wearing a dress. I don't think so. Um, but like I don't think we need one. Like it doesn't really matter. Um, and yeah, I don't know. It's like I get what they mean by it, but at the same time, I think it's just not really an important message. Um, the second one I resonated with more. I don't know if that's a male bias, but the second one is actually about the reverse. So it's called Gender Equality Two, and it's about the male symbol comes out and replaces himself mostly into father figure roles, like say baby changing areas, and they show one of like a woman like helping a kid across the street, and it would always be a woman in South Korea. I don't think we have that. I don't know if we have that symbol over here. But anyway, like it's just showing himself as the father figure that like on symbols depicting parents it usually only shows the woman, or at least in South Korea it does. Because like here we sometimes we'll have baby uh changing areas, and sometimes it'll just show the baby. Like it can just show the baby, and that's fine as one. Or it shows figure stick figure wearing pants. Could be father. Could be just the mother is wearing pants because a lot of mothers wear pants. Um, and you can kind of interpret it the way you want. Um, and I think sometimes they can even show both. Um, but yeah, oh yeah, and sometimes you can have like a figure with kind of like half pants, half dress. I guess also works. Um, but yeah, it's just a figure. Oh yeah, and actually, like here, often we'll have the. Sometimes it'll be actually like a third bathroom, like a gender neutral bathroom that you can have that kind of thing. And say like there's no the BC ferries. I know like they have the wheelchair bathroom as being the only gender neutral bathroom. That there's just like um, there's a men's bathroom, there's a woman's bathroom, and then there's the disabled bathroom, which like if you're trans and you don't feel comfortable going into the men or women's bathroom, then it's like, well, you're not disabled, but at the same time, that's the easiest one to go into. Um, and it's also probably the easiest one to throw a baby changing area into, so you don't have to feel uncomfortable about like a man bringing his daughter or or a man going into the woman's bathroom to change their baby because there's no baby changing area in the men's bathroom or something like that. Like you don't want that. So just throwing it in whichever the gender neutral bathroom is makes the most sense if you can't afford to, add one to every bathroom. Um, but yeah, it's yeah. I don't know. I don't know if pants are pants masculine. I don't know. It's like on some signs they're meant to be masculine, but at the same time they don't have to be. And obviously in some cultures, say like there's kimonos in Japan that are gender neutral but are kind of a dress. Or I think there's an Indian one, like an Indian kind of dress that's gender neutral. Um, but yeah, like that kind of figure is meant to be a woman, and we kind of all interpret it to be a woman as long as it's like kind of designed to be that way. Yeah, bathroom signs are not really, or signs are not really the biggest worries in terms of gender equality. But actually, the facilities themselves, say like the baby changing area, like you want the facility to be there in the men's bathroom, but like what it shows on it doesn't really matter. And Then the next anime I watched is Sumiko Gurishi Movie 1. I kind of don't feel like watching a second movie, honestly. I don't even know. Oh, there's three? Or how many are there? There's three movies. Oh, the third one hasn't aired yet. It's so. It's. It's a kids film. Um, and it's just depicting all of these like foods, like they're like these kind of very like Japanese childish kinds of figures. I guess similar to like Hello Kitty, isn't it? Like it's that kind of sort of figure that you kind of expect. Um, and they're all depicting various foods and or just various things that are like either unwanted or weird or just kind of bits and pieces that are unloved, and they're all together, and then they kind of put themselves into various fairy tales as well. It feels memeable. It feels like something like what was it? Um, like what was it? The hamster one? Um, hamster car anime. What was it called again? Pui Pui Molcar, like something like that, or like Banana, like those sorts of like kids shows that just depict these like kind of simplistic characters, are based somewhat on animals, but also not entirely, and like those feel like the sort. Those are two like very memed shows, but this one's just totally underground. Like no one's seeing it, and I don't know. I didn't really enjoy it unironically, and there's kind of no one to like bounce off of to enjoy it ironically. Like it could be enjoyed ironically, like if you had the right if the right people watched it, I think it could be very memeable, but yeah, no one's seen it, so it's just kind of disappointing to watch it on your own and just be like, oh, no one made memes of this. This is I don't know, just an okay kids anime, kids movie. It feels like it's made for very young kids, like 1 to 4 kind of thing. And yeah, it's just oh, is it a penguin? Unsure if it's a penguin, piece of pork cutlet, a shy cat, Tokage hides his nature as being one of the last dinosaurs. So yeah, they're all just kind of weird animals, and stuff. Yeah. After that, I watched the Yulu Camp movie. This was good. I like the Yulu Camp movie. I mean Yulu Camp just in general is good. But this one I especially liked because well, this one I liked just like they are adults this time, which is nice. Like young adults, um, like say Nadeshko is working just as a clerk at a I don't know, an outdoor store. And it's like that's probably a minimum wage job. Like she's good at it, I'm sure, but she's probably making like $8 an hour or something. Like that's not a career. Um, but it it's just fun seeing them like in their adult lives and doing their uh, doing their things. For some reason, Anna feels like someone like like that could be a good girlfriend. like I've been doing some dating app stuff recently. She totally reminds me of the people who would be like, oh, that could be a thing. Like she likes animals. She's like a vet now, and she's so soft and huggable. Aw. She also just has like this bright smile on her face, so just like permanently, she's just like never doesn't have a smile. It's very cute. Um, And but yeah, it's fun. It's just nice seeing, because like the plot of the movie is that they're like building campgrounds, um and like they have to, like, I think they might take time off work to do it, but like they're all like busy people now, and it's just kind of like but they kind of come back together to build this camp together, which is really just fun. Um, and it's nice seeing them all as adults, um, and seeing like what they decided to do with their lives. It's just nice. Well, I liked it. It is obviously still slice of life, but yeah, it's just a cute film. I don't know really I have much to say about it, but just just fun. Um, yeah, if you liked Eula Camp, you'll probably like the movie, I think. Um, and after that, I watched Nora to Ojo to Nora Neko Heart. This one is terrible. And oh yeah, Nora, Princess and Stray Cat. What was the Stray Cat about? It's garbage. So it's oh yeah, it's an ecchi anime. Uh, but a real like male protagonist is just kind of them doing lewd things. Uh, oh yeah, and I think the male protagonist is the one who reincarnated as a cat, and the girls kind of adopted him. I feel like it's also probably similar to, like, there was a dog one that recently aired, uh, about like a dog who kind of is actually a person and a pervert, and is, entitled to do things with girls that they wouldn't do with like a human boy. Um, but yeah, it's that kind of show. Also, episode, what was it? I think it was episode six is goats. Yeah, episode six. And that was why I knew about this show. I was like, oh, that's episode six is about goats. It's literally just it's live action footage of goats, and they got the voice actors to voice over the goats and pretend to be the goats. And it's like, oh, we're goats now. Oh no, we reincarnated as goats. So dumb. And Mal just refuses to just consider that to be an episode. They're like, episode six is about goats, so it's not anime. Which is why it's 11 episodes, because it's actually a 12 episode show, but one of the episodes is about goats. Um, and yeah, so it's terrible. Please don't waste your time with it. And moving on. After that, I watched Mug Cup. Um, or actually, Yaku Nara Mug Cup Mo. Let's make a mug too. I, I Mug cup is just the word for mug in Japanese, but like it feels like just so kind of, I guess, tautological, as to have like these two words that kind of mean the same thing. Like a mug is a type of cup. Um, I guess chai tea is the same thing, where we say chai tea, even though chai means tea, and pizza means pie. Um, so it kind of, like, I can understand why Japanese, but like mug and cup are both English words. So like that's unnecessary to borrow mug and cup together and be like, oh, it's a mug cup. The type of cup that's a mug. What's a mug? It's a kind of cup. What's a cup? Oh, mugs are a kind of cup. Oh, great. Um, but yeah, it's a hobby show. Like if you like those kind of like after school shows, after school club shows, it's that kind of show, like DIY or Slow Loop or Yamano Susume, Tamayura. It's that kind of show. Which is fun. It's nice having more. more of these kinds of shows, and it's cute, and all the girls are cute. Also, Tamayura is a really good analog because literally, um, like the start of the show, it's like, oh, my mom died, and she really likes pottery. It's like, okay, so we're getting into this kind of show, um, and yeah, she's into the main girl, the pink haired girl. She's into pottery. Yeah, because of her mom brought her into it, and she's kind of like wants to keep up the tradition. Even though I'm pretty sure her mom died like fairly young, like when she was fairly young. Um, but like that's how she got invested in pottery, and it's and the same thing happens in Tamiyura. It's like, oh, why is the main girl into photography? Well, her late father was into photography. Um, and just stylistically, they're both fairly similar. Like they both take place in the countryside. Um, but yeah, it's cute. All the girls are cute, and they make pottery. Um, they don't make mugs, which is funny. I think the title "Let's Make a Mug Too." This is a split core. Like it's not like two distinct seasons. It's like there was only like a 3 month gap between the two seasons. Um, Although I'm talking about season one technically right now, um, so in season one, no mugs are made. Uh, it's all different other types of pottery. Like they make bowls, they make um, various things. They make try to make a seed at one point, which doesn't really work. Um, oh yeah, they make different things out of pottery. It's like pottery is the thing that they like doing. So even if something doesn't really make sense to make out of pottery, it's like, well, we're making things out of pottery. Let's see if we can make this out of pottery. Well, hell not. And yeah, so this is kind of fun. Um, and it's a hobby that I don't really think about pottery much, so it's just kind of a fun hobby. I have done a bit of pottery in high school and didn't really turn out well. I made a Minecraft sheep out of clay once, and it wasn't very stable. The leg broke off, and I had to like glue it back on. That was fun. I don't know if I still have it, but yeah, it's yeah pottery. Um, and in the second season, she finally makes a mug. And I think that's why it's called Let's Make a Mug Too. Like, in addition to all this other crap that we're making out of clay, let's also make a mug. Why the hell not? Make a mug as well. Um, but yeah, it's both seasons. They're kind of the same. It's not really. It does feel like just it is a two-core show, and there's just it's split into two seasons. Also, they are very short. Although it technically aired in 24-minute episodes, it's just that 10 minutes of each episode is live action stuff that's not really related to the anime. Um, like it's somewhat related. I've heard some people like it. Like it's also about pottery, and I think it's also kind of meta. It's like about the anime as well. But I didn't bother watching it. I don't know if well, I can't really recommend it because I didn't do it. But yeah, that is also a thing. Um, but yeah, it's just a fun show. The girls, in terms of personality, they're not particularly memorable. Um, they're just they're just girls and they like pottery. I don't know. But oh yeah, in season two we also get the Mexican girl. She's cool. She's really happy. Like she's really excited to see them, and she does speak Spanish, and it's also just nice having like some more foreign characters who aren't just like American or British or whatever Russian, like some like you know characters who are like not European descent, like someone like this who's like Latino. You don't get enough of that. Yeah, she's very happy, and it's nice to have that kind of representation in an anime. Um, Yeah, it's a fun show. I'd recommend it if you like cute girls doing cute things, just in general, or especially if you like after school club anime. Like, if you like after school club anime, then you should definitely give it a shot. Um, and then I watched Kizuna no Allele, which was terrible. Again, and I gave it the same score as other the Nora Neko crap. Kizuna no Allele. So Kizuna no Allele. Anyone remember Kizuna I? Um, she I think she did a bit of streaming, but like she was one of the first um, VTubers, but she's also one of the few VTubers who like makes pretty much exclusively uh, VOD content, like video on demand. She doesn't. She actually makes like videos, and they're not videos that are just like truncated out of streams. They're like videos made to be videos, which is I'd say is kind of unique for a VTuber. Like there are other VTubers who do that, but it's just uncommon. Um, and but yeah, she isn't around anymore. And also, even when she was around, there was some kind of weird shenanigans about like just how much she was doing, and the fact that Kizuna Ai, the brand, got so much bigger than Kizuna Ai, the person behind her, like the original voice actor, could actually manage. And so they hired more eyes, and then eventually the original one, I can't remember if she quit or if she was fired, but like the the original voice wasn't part of the brand anymore. Like she was replaced. Like they had already had like a bunch of kind of clones of her, and it wasn't really clear when it was the original I or when it was like one of her kind of imposters. I think they had like what was it, one that was like a black, like a darker version of her, where it was like, oh, this is very clearly a different person. Whereas most of the time it's like, oh, she uses the same avatar, but it's a different person playing her. But it's sort of like the brand is the character, and the voice actor is someone else that is just portraying her, which I think VTuber fans just they don't see VTubers that way, at least not anymore. Like people like seeing the I think people kind of view the character as like almost like a mask on top of the voice actor, that it's like you have the character, but the character the character adds to the idea of it. Like people like the character. Like say like Hololive is partly successful because of like the unique different characters that there are, and like how they can interact with each other. That's like, oh, this person is like based on this animal, and this person is based on this other animal that actually eats this animal, and that's a fun interaction that only works because of these characters, even though that has nothing to do with the voice actors. Um, but that that doesn't really the like say like what was it, Mike Neko, which is actually what was it, the green one, what's her name again, um the like that was like one of Hololive's ex members who got fired, and then she made a Mike Neko account, and now people just kind of followed her there if they wanted to see her, although she doesn't stream as much anymore. Um, but yeah, like people like the voice actor. Like that's kind of what you watch people for. And in this one, they are more traditional like they're more like the kinds of VTubers we expect. Uh, Although what's funny is in this show, like they talk about streaming, like these are streamers, like the main character, Miraculu. That's how it's pronounced in the show. It's miracle. So I would usually just pronounce it as miracle. But Miraculu, um, sh- she is a streamer. She talks about her viewers. She's like at least somewhat successful as a streamer, but she's going to a VTuber academy, and she really looks up to Kizuna Ai, and and then she meets all these other girls who are also streamers and they're also like VTubers, but like you have like these two worlds, that there's like the real world and then there's the virtual world, um but in both worlds generally the girls look basically the same, um like because they design their avatar based on their real person. Although probably in universe they would look kind of sort of like the Memoji kind of idea, or like sort of like on Apple, where it's like you have this kind of cartoon character who's vaguely resembling you but doesn't actually look identical to you. Whereas in anime, because they're both anime, it ends up kind of looking identical to them, because it's the in anime that are already in anime, and then in the virtual world are also in anime. So it's kind of like that you lose that kind of disconnect. They kind of just look the same. um, and but like their outfits change. So like they do have a school uniform. I think I can't remember if the school uniform is no. I can't remember. I think it is that the school uniform is a real world, and then when they're in their like idol outfits, that's when they're in the virtual world. Um, but it's not really it's perfectly clear. Um, the character designs themselves are nice. Like I like the fact that they have the two-tone hair. I think the two-tone hair is I think it's just based off Kizuna Ai. Like Kizuna Ai has like the brown hair that has these um like pink highlights, and every character looks like that. Well, actually no. One of the girls, it's more of gradient. Noelle, um, yeah, Noelle's hair, it's like it starts off blonde and then goes to purple at the bottom, um, whereas all the other girls have like Kizuna Ai's kind of version where it's like they have a main color and then they have highlights. Um, and we also get a dark skinned girl here, Riz. Riz. That's hilarious. Her name is Riz. I didn't even remember that. But yeah, she's pretty. And she has dark skin, and um, she has a nice outfit. The also like in addition to the like yeah like the highlights, they also all wear lip gloss and nail polish. Um, which I think is probably also at least somewhat inspired by Kizuna Ai's design. So even though all the girls look like different from like what anime normally has, they're kind of similar to each other because they're kind of all based on Kizuna Ai. Except like I really do like the dark skinned girl. I think I still really like her aesthetic. But yeah, Riz, yeah, she's cute. But oh yeah, and and obviously they do all have different hairstyles, even if the coloring is kind of similar. Um, but personality wise, they're not particularly interesting. Like Um, yeah, I guess Mirakulu, like, I guess she kind of, it is sort of a bit like, say, in iCuts, like, so we have Ichigo, who looks up to, um, what was it? Mizuki? I think I swear it was Mizuki. Let me check. Um, but like they're both looking up to someone. Um, yeah, Mizuki. That like Ichigo looks up to Mizuki, and then Akari looks up to Ichigo. And like Akari and Ichigo both kind of like heavily inspire like their own idol aesthetic based on the idol that they look up to, but then they develop their own style and their own personality and their own like way of doing idol things, right? And that's all good. It's a nice progression. It's you get to see their character development in terms of like breaking away uh, from their idol and becoming their own idol. Whereas this doesn't really have that. It's more like Mirakulu looks up to Kizuna Ai, and she continues to look up to Kizuna Ai, and she looks a decent amount like Kizuna Ai, and all of like and she never surpasses Kizuna Ai. She kind of just stays as I don't know if she's any more popular at the end. I don't think she is. Like, I don't think really much progression has happened. It's a bit of a cast building anime. Like, there are more girls by the end than there are at the beginning, but personality wise, most of them are kind of boring. Like, they're not particularly interesting characters. And also, Chris is kind of funny in the way that there's even like one point midway through the show where Chris is talking about she has this whole spiel. I think it goes on for like several minutes of her talking about how uh, ants and elephants move move as fast compared to their body size to each other. And she makes a big deal out of it. And then after the sequence is done, Miraculous is just like, oh yeah, I guess Chris isn't really that interesting of a character. She's kind of dumb. She's a little weird. I didn't really inquisite much about her. And then this gonna continue. Um, but like that's kind of like that vibe kind of continues where it is kind of like originally they viewed as like, oh, Chris is just this really cool girl, she doesn't say much, she's kind of mysterious, and then she just has like this weird random thing of just her exposing how dumb she is. And then it's like, oh yeah, I guess Chris is kind of weird, isn't she? And then it's like, yep, she is. And they I don't know, and I guess she's kind of weird. But she doesn't really have that much going on. Um, and kind of it was kind of the same for all of them. Another big complaint I have is just how boring the idol scenes are. Like, why? Like, all idol anime, it's good to have performance scenes. That's kind of, it's idol. This is an idol show. Like, why wouldn't there be performance scenes? And now they're not cancerous like the earlier iCuts idol scenes are, like, but they are bad. They are very much bad. And because like the animation in the regular show, it's very humdrum, it's very just kind of generic. It just kind of look like average anime girl. It's actually a little subpar. Like, there's certain parts of the animation where like say like you can tell that a frame is just like kind of like their lips are moving, and it kind of goes on for a bit too long, and it's like, oh, they were a little lazy animating this one scene. But even if it's like a little subpar, it's not bad. Whereas in the dance performances, it's always just it's 3D CGI. There's artifacts, like you can see, like that, like the rim around the character is more pixelated than the rest of the screen, like as if it was someone who it was like their first time using a 3D animating software. And then the background is just it's just a static background. There's nothing going on in it. It's just like we've just decided this is the background we're going to use, and you just have a girl dancing. There's no perspective changes. It's just a girl dancing. The dances aren't even that interesting. And it's just it's bland. And it looks bad. Um and Also, another weird complaint. It feels like a kids show. Like they'll just kind of sometimes they'll like ask the audience about something, or sometimes they'll or even like in the first episode where miraculously, like the very way that she like finds something was just she like drops something on the ground, and then she looks up and there's a random path that she had never seen before. And it's like that's just like the kind of storytelling that happens in shows where people expect the audience to be like little kids who aren't really going to think twice about the fact that that's a weird thing to happen. um and, and also, like, another thing that makes it feel a little like a kids show is like the stuff that happens at the end of the episode, where they have like the recommended video, and it's just one of the videos of one of the idols, and it's the same kind of garbage animation style of the dance scenes. um and and those sequences, it's like 3 or 4 minutes at the end of the episode where they just kind of spiel about God knows what. They just talk about something. It's usually boring. But in episode 3, what did they do for the recommended video? It's the one of the characters, it's like the weird little rabbit mascot who's just telling like Miraculou and Chris about what NFTs are. And it's talking about NFTs in a way, it's not like nuanced at all. It's just like, this is what NFTs are. They're great. An NFT, it's a non-fungible token, and it means that there's only one of them, and you can't easily like duplicate it. There's only one. It's great. You should really invest in NFTs now. And it's like, oh no. Oh no, why would you do this in a show that feels like it's aimed at like 7-year-old girls? Like, why? Why are you promoting NFTs in a show that feels like it's made for like the youngest audience possible? Like, that's awful. Like, like, I can understand. Apparently, Kizuna Ai has a line of NFTs, and maybe that was why this anime was aired. Of like, oh, we want to get them while you're young. NFTs are gonna be this. This is the way of the future. We're gonna hook kids on them now. We're gonna get them to, make their parents blow tons of money on Kizuna Ai NFTs. I don't like it, man. Um, Also, in the later, I think, what was it, episode 11 or 12, like there's an NFT that's being used as a prize for a competition, as like a lower prize. That it's like, oh well, you have the high prize of like a Nintendo Switch, or I don't remember what it was, but like the lower prize is, oh, everyone who gets at least 10th place gets an NFT. It's like, wow, great. I'm sure those will be worth so much. But yeah, that, and it seems like that is like the big complaint of the fact that it promotes NFTs. But like, there's so much more to complain about. I do hate the fact that it promotes NFTs, especially for a show that feels like it's made for kids. But yeah, like, it's it's bad. I I didn't hate it as much as iCut's Planet, but like, I feel like part of that is just because I had more invested in iCut's Planet. Like, I was never a huge Kizuna Ai fan. I liked her. I really liked her design, but I never really watched many Kizuna Ai videos. But I feel like someone who was like, if someone was like watching Kizuna Ai from the beginning, was really invested in like her journey, really invested in like watching Kizuna Ai's videos and watching the streams when they happened as well. Like, I feel like if you were that kind of a fan, and then you see this show that comes out where the characters are all just kind of generically, vaguely based on Kizuna Ai, and they're all kind of bland, and then the show promotes NFTs. Like, I feel like it could be that much of a piss off to you. It's like, this is the worst show of all time. Thankfully, I wasn't that invested in it, but it's still a bad anime. It is very much a bad anime, um, and yeah, um, it 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 was interesting to see just for how bad it is, but yeah, I can't recommend it. Um, yeah, like, if you're morbidly curious about how bad an idol anime can get, um, I would recommend more to watch. Uh, Obviously, to watch Million Doll. Million Doll is really bad. Um, I know there's, what was it? There was another one as well. But yeah, there's some bad idol anime out there. This one's bad, but it wasn't really ever bad in a fun way. It was mostly bad in a boring way of just them just kind of screwing up and just kind of not really doing things for fun. It was just kind of, it felt like they just didn't really care. It was a cash grab. It was just like a way to, milk NFTs a bit. Like, considering how like low quality the animation is, this might have only cost them, I don't know, $1 million to make or something, and it's like, oh, we can probably get more than that out of yeah, the NFTs we sell. So it's all good. It's a good promotional material. Um, yeah, uh, would not recommend. And then just to finish things off, I watched Miracle, the not the Miracle from Kizuna Ai. It's a music video. It's not related to the show. It aired like a decent amount of time before it, but it just happened to have Kizuna Ai, the character, um, in it as well, because, well, uh, Kizuna Ai is in, it's, it shows she was in Kizuna no Allele, and so that's how I found out about it. But was the Miracle a good music video? Not really. It had some decent stuff in it, but it wasn't that great. Also, Kizuna no Allele, the final episode actually has a proper dance scene, so that's good at least. Like, all the other dance scenes are absolute garbage. But at least there was a decent dance scene in episode 12. But other than that, not very good anime. Anyway, that's enough me complaining about Kazuna no Leo. Thank you for watching, and I hope to see you again next time. Next time's gonna be exciting. There's have a guest. But yeah, goodbye.